My client got an approval for $100,000 on just one U.S. Bank business credit card, and another client got a 50K approval on just one U.S. Bank business credit card. And I have countless others that got 25K approvals on just one of their business credit cards with U.S. Bank. And on top of that, they got two at one time. So that was 50K approvals right there with U.S. Bank. And unlike other people that are just talking about getting approvals and they're just watching the same videos as you and giving you information from YouTube videos, I'm talking from experience on how to get business funding from US Bank. So let's go ahead and lock in, because most people don't realize if you do this right, US Bank will give out the bag, as they say. So on this video, I'm going to break down all of the data points, how my client got these 100K and 50K approvals, and some other quite hidden information that you probably didn't know about US Bank that is very important. If you don't know this, it could cause you not to get approvals from US Bank. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's get it. Now, first, I want to start with some things to note here. Now, US Bank is one of the largest commercial banks with $686 billion in assets with 2,000 plus branches in the US. So it's one of the leading banks when it comes to assets and when it comes to the amount of branches that they have in the US, and the seventh largest bank in terms of assets, as we see here. All right. And US Bank is going to be in these following states, as you see: California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, so on and so forth. So if you're looking at this map here and you do not see the state that your business, actually your home address, US Bank made this very clear to me. I was speaking to a relationship manager. They sent me some inside information. If your residential address, meaning your home address, is not in one of these states, you are technically out of US Bank's footprint when it comes to certain lending products. However, you can apply online for a US Bank business credit card in every single one of these states. So don't even worry. Now, you will have to go for the business credit card first if you're applying for funding. And this is a very important data point, because you could be going for the business line of credit or business loan, but you're not in one of these states and you're going to get a denial. And guess what? They're not going to tell you, hey, you're out of the footprint a lot of times. You're just going to get back some type of random, BS excuse for why you didn't get an approval. And it's going to be that. Guys, they're not going to tell you every single little data point, especially if you guys aren't calling in. A lot of you guys are just trying to do everything online. They're not going to tell you this information. So it is important to understand that. All right. US Bank has a 12-month rule, all right, when it comes to going for the business lines of credit that we'll talk about more later on in this video. But if you do not have a relationship with US Bank for 12 months at least, and you don't live in one of the states on the screen here that you see that my pointer is on, you will not get to be able to apply for certain products with US Bank that is not the US Bank business credit card, right? So the business line of credit and business loans, you will not be able to get access to if you do not build a relationship with them first. Okay, so that's very important to understand. So if you have to screenshot this or write the state down or see if your state is in this geographical location, go ahead and do that now. Now, the other thing that you must know about US Bank, I'm giving you the really important stuff all up front. US Bank favors businesses with age and established business credit more than they do newer businesses, even if you have like a personal relationship with them first. On the business side, if your business doesn't have age or you're not an established business with business credit, then they may give you a lower limit first starting out. So you guys that are getting these lower limits with US Bank is probably because of this, right? So it is important to understand. And also, the next thing to note is that US Bank owns Elan Financial, which underwrites for hundreds of banks and credit unions. This is vital information, and we must talk about that later on. Now, what we're going to do first is talk about the US Bank personal data points that you need to understand. We're going to talk about the business checking account, the business credit card, and then the business line of credit and the business loans. And then we'll talk about how to actually apply with US Bank. Now, for the personal data points for US Bank, personal score 750 plus. US Bank is a very conservative bank, meaning if you're going for funding with them, you got to come correct. They are not this 680 and 700 score. If you're like right at that point, they're going to want to see more. They like to only deal with clients with excellent credit profiles, okay? So you want to come in with the low revolving utilization. Up to 15% could possibly work, especially with the relationship, but I would go in with single digits. 3+ years of credit history, a 15K highest credit limit is preferred. You can do 10K, even 5K. You're really pushing. I wouldn't go 4,999. All right. If it's not 5K, I wouldn't even touch it. But you really want to be at a minimum of 15K. You can slide with less, but I would really try to go there. Increase, I would like to keep those under 3 in the last 90 days because US Bank is increase sensitive, guys. You do have to be aware of that. Relationship, you can't apply online without a relationship, but it's not recommended unless your profile is just absolutely amazing and your business has been established for a while. Then you can apply online, but I really wouldn't do that. And also, US Bank generally pulls from TransUnion. Of course, it could be different. It could be a different bureau depending on your geographical location, but typically it's going to be TransUnion for the most part. Now, let's talk about the business checking accounts. They have several, but unless you already have a relationship with US Bank where you're holding more than $30,000 plus with US Bank, I would opt in for the US Bank Business Essentials business checking account because there's a $0 monthly maintenance fee. When it comes to business checking account, guys, you have to pay close attention to that monthly maintenance fee because you do not want to lose money every month for no reason. A lot of you guys are starting these relationships and opening these business checking accounts, and you're not monitoring how much money you have in there, and then you just got money coming out of your business every month. You're taking a loss for no reason. So pay close attention to the monthly maintenance fee before you open up an account. We do this for our clients, by the way, so you don't even have to think about that. And if you are someone that's looking for up to 250K in business funding and you don't want to have to worry about or think about any of the things that I'm talking about here, you go ahead and book your free strategy session using the link below. Now, let's continue. You can open up this business checking account pretty much with no money in because there's no monthly maintenance fee, meaning you could have any amount in there and they won't charge you an amount anyways. But what you can do is pretty cool. There's a promo going on right now. At the time I'm recording this, it is, but it's going to be ended soon. I'm recording this in September 2025. It's going to end in September 2025. Now, for right now, they have a promo going where if you deposit $5,000 and you maintain that amount for at least 60 days or 2 months, you can get a free $400 just by depositing $5,000 for 2 months. I actually did a similar promo with US Bank and I believe it was $300 at the promo that I had at the time. So it's pretty cool getting free money. This is actually like a side hustle for a lot of people. If they have access to like a $10,000 or more, they'll just find these type of promos, open up the accounts, get the free money, and then dip once the time expires. I'm not telling you to do that, but that is a hustle for a lot of people. You can come up on a easy like 2 to 5K per year, possibly even more if you're looking for more of them, just for doing that, just for moving your cash around. So it's something to pay attention to, guys. Hey, you hit the like button if that was a gem for you. Hit the like button if you learned something here as well. All right, go ahead and tap the like button. Now, you can start with any amount. Like I said, no monthly maintenance fee. Okay, now let's take a look at the business credit products or the 0% business credit cards, because those are the ones you're going to want to focus on here. US Bank, they do offer other non-0% interest business credit cards like the US Bank Business Altitude. But I'm telling you, unless you already have these two cards, you don't even want to think about the other ones. You need to focus on these two 0% business credit cards first. We're going to start with the first one, the US Bank Triple Cash Rewards Visa Business Credit Card, because it offers right now, currently at least, it offers a 0% introductory rate for the first 12 months of you opening the account on purchases and balance transfers. The and balance transfers is very important because you must know which business credit cards offer balance transfers. It also has no annual fee. The limits can go as low as 3K if not done correctly, but can go up to, as we see, 100K just on one business credit card. I have this card with a 25K limit. That video, me breaking that down, will be in the description below. And I got $1,000 in cash just by using this card in the cash back by using it in the certain categories. I got $1,000 literally in cash just for spending exactly what I was going to spend with the card anyways. So it's pretty cool. And my client, the one that got the 100K limit, if you look at the screenshot, you'll see it is exactly this 0% business credit card that he got access to for 100K at 0% interest for 12 months, which is really nice. Now, the second 0% interest business credit card that they have right now currently is going to be just their standard US Bank Business Platinum business credit card, which also offers 12 months of 0% interest for the first 12 months of the account opening on purchases and balance transfers, and also in and out. And it also does not have an annual fee. And the limits also can go as low as 3K if not done correctly. And I have this with a 16.5 limit. I should raise it because I could. I just haven't mainly gone in to raise limits in a while, but maybe I'm going to make a video about that or just go in and start going for credit limit increases. And I may do a live or something so we can see what my results are. But that's a video for another day. So these are the 0% interest business credit cards. These are the products that you want to focus on for the most part if you're looking for the 0%. But now let's talk about the not 0%, but the business line of credit with US Bank. So we just recently had a client approved for this, and we have some clients going for it right now. One may actually be watching this video, so it's pretty cool. Now, the one that I would recommend, because you do have, multiple choices here, because my job is I'm going to go through most of the information, but I'm trying to give you the relevant information in a shorter period of time to make it more digestible, right? So the business line of credit that most of you guys will be going for is going to be the cash flow manager. Okay. Now for the cash flow manager, it has a secured and an unsecured option. The unsecured goes to 100K, and the secured option, meaning you will have to provide some type of business asset as a collateral, it goes up to 250K. And you can apply for funding, or you can apply for these business lines of credit as soon as 6 months if you are in the footprint of US Bank. But if not, again, it's going to be 12 months. Okay. These are the only states that can override the 12-month rule, and they were on the screen earlier, and they're right here on the screen now. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you. So you see there, those are the states. You can apply for this thing within 6 months if you're in these states, and also you've had a relationship with US Bank. Okay. But really, 6 months is the minimum. I don't really go by the minimum that these banks give you guys, because a lot of times they're just saying that, but they won't really approve you at the bare minimum of actually being eligible to apply for these products. And it does have an annual fee on this business line of credit. For limits at 50K or lower, it's going to be $0, but the annual fee will come in at $150 for limits above 50K. Okay. But no collateral. So I do like that. It goes up to 100K, and you can apply for this thing, especially with a relationship with US Bank. So it is a pretty nice, business line of credit, because a lot of times if you have a relationship, they will not ask you for docs. But for the most part, they will ask you for 1 year of tax returns and then 3 months of bank statements, depending on your relationship. So this is not going to be this no doc, just start an account with US Bank and then you get access to a line of credit with them. It's not going to work like that, because again, they have certain rules and restrictions. Okay. Now let's talk about Elan Financial. I mentioned that earlier, and I said it was going to be important. Elan Financial is a credit card issuer and servicer that works with many smaller banks and credit unions, or what they call partner banks. Essentially, they do a white label service where you may see this bank's name and logo appear, but Elan handles the underwriting, the servicing, the rewards, the marketing, so on and so forth. If you've ever been to two different banks and everything about the online platform that they use looks exactly the same. We're going to take two examples here. United Community, you see how this looks? Well, this is a completely different bank, Renaissance Bank here, and you see they're the exact same. It's hard to tell if you're looking at these screenshots here only, but it's exactly the same. It's two different banks, though. These are two completely different banks, but their website for applying for their business credit cards looks exactly the same. And it's because both banks are being underwritten by Elan Financial. So what does this mean, and why am I even bringing it up? Because a lot of you guys, you're told to apply for business funding with smaller banks and credit unions, and a lot of those use Elan Financial. So if you are applying for funding with US Bank and you already have business credit cards or lines of credit with these banks, then it can affect your underwriting, or it can affect the limits that you get access to with US banks. So it is important to know exactly what you're looking at here and be cautious of that, especially if you have a higher balance with these banks here. They will share the same information, so just be careful there. I would make sure that if I have one of these banks already that is underwritten by Elan Financial, I would make sure that I pay down my balances and things like that before I apply for funding with US Bank. I could not go without mentioning that, okay? Now, how do you apply for funding with US Bank? Number one, you prepare. You're going to clean up your inquiries. That's very important. Clean up your inquiries. And if you don't know how to do that and you want someone to do it for you, all you have to do is just hit the description box below and let us take care of it for you. But you want to keep your utilization low and also fix or make any tweaks that you need to on the personal credit side, like applying for credit limit increases and actually letting those report. On the business, make sure you have your LLC set up properly. This is actually important. Having an EIN number, operating agreement, building business credit first if you don't already have business credit cards, which I would actually have that first before I applied with funding with US Bank. I would actually not go to these guys first, on a lot of occasions at least. Now, relationship, you can open a business checking account, make deposits, and then create activity. But with US Bank, if your other stuff is not right, you can even create an account with them. They're not going to care. They're still going to give you a low limit. So everything else that we talked about is actually even more important, unless you had like a long-standing relationship with them or something on the business side, which not already counts. You have a relationship, but they don't really care if you don't have the other things together, like your personal profile and the things about the proximity within 50 miles and being in one of the green states or in their footprint. That matters even more. So choose the product. I would go for the 0% business credit cards. And then also you can go for the line of credit. Oh, also for the US Bank loan, that's going to be in the same video as my 25K business credit card. Is going to be in the description below. Now for method of application, for highest approvals, for the 100K approval, the 50K approval, and then the several 25K approvals that we have, we did all of those with a business relationship manager. So that's exactly what I would do, so you can avoid going in a branch and just applying online without having them look at everything first. And then they have special links. Even if it is online, they do have special links that only the relationship manager can give you. So I would not just apply online. That's the least recommended. But if you do, just know that you may not get the same results as someone that's using a relationship manager. But you also can just apply inside of a branch with a banker that you've built some rapport with. And level 3, of course, is going to be a relationship manager. Now, again, if you need help with funding and you want to see how to get access up to 250K across multiple banks using my proven credit stacking strategy, you can click the description box below to book a call with me and my team. And also, if you like this video, I know that you will like this video that's here on the screen. All right.